Pinnacle Creek and Pocohontas, the Ashland ATV Resort, in the direct center of the Indian Ridge Trail System. That put us in the center of the three trail systems, ton of Outlaw Trails, and our buddy John from HMX Trails.
Ready to hit it?
12 seconds later.
Alright boys, Hatfield McCoy, day 2. We're at Ashland ATV Resort, and unfortunately the double X is on the trailer today. Too fast Matt, what happened, man?
More than likely the oil pump is gone in it.
It's John from HMX Trails, man. He's going to save the day.
Man. He's
So
gonna let me ride with him, so big shout out to him.
Let's go check him out. Alright, so this is John from HMX Trails saving the day. Letting Too Fast Matt ride with him. We had a plan to meet up with John, and he's going to show us some of the Outlaw Trails, and we're going to rip on it. But man, that XMR version of the freaking X3 is looking sweet, brother.
It's been doing good. I've had a few issues with it, but nothing major.
Seen you guys going through some deep mud and some rough trails on your YouTube channel, and that is HMX Trails on YouTube. Riding bitch, riding bitch, riding bitch. He's gonna be terrified. Look, Too Fast Matt, one of the craziest drivers we've ever seen, and he's nervous right now. He's got butterflies going on. Alright boys, so we started day 2 on the Pocohontas trail system. We were actually very fortunate to be able to ride the Pocohontas trail system. It was actually scheduled to be closed in February of this year because coal operations in the area have resumed. Fortunately, the Hatfield McCoy Trail Authority was able to reach an agreement with the coal companies to leave the trails open on a rotational basis, working in and around the coal operation and keeping riders away from areas that would be dangerous for both the coal workers and the trail riders. So again, we were very fortunate that Hatfield McCoy reached that agreement. They were able to keep some of the trails open. Pocohontas, in comparison to some of the other trails, is a little bit more wide open. We were able to do some fast ripping on some wider trails, and we had a blast out there. If you're not familiar with the Hatfield McCoy trail system, these trails are groomed, like incredibly well groomed. You can ride at speeds that you're not normally capable of. There's not a lot of technical riding. We did some black trails, we did some double red, black, double black diamond, whatever you want to call them, and they were kind of like average trails for around the area that we were used to. This one here that we're going through is a lot of pines. It was a particularly pretty trail on the Pocohontas trail system, so that's why it made the cut. But all in all, I think John described it best. He told us that the Hatfield McCoy trails, when compared to the Outlaw trails in the area, were kind of like the white bread of the region. They were the trails that the locals used to get from point A to point B. But truly the stuff to be seen and the hardcore riding is on the Outlaw Trails, and you better believe we get to that. So you're not going to ride all day with an X3 XMR and not see what it's capable of. Fortunately for us, John was all too willing to show off the limits of his machine, and it was impressive. What was most impressive to me was how well that machine did on the trails. The cryptids were a very capable trail tire, even if they did throw some serious grenades your way if you were riding directly behind them. But that X3 XMR was an awesome machine to ride around with all day. Not to be outdone, the terrible Mr. T had to take the X3 through a couple mud holes as well. Well, not as capable as the XMR, it was certainly doing pretty good until it got high centered.
You're sitting on the frame right there.
That's the deepest crap I've ever been through.
You ain't through it yet?
No, didn't make it out there.
Might be the deepest shit you ever did get through.
That's the deepest shit I ever got stuck in.
Good job, guys.
Round 2, fight.
Trail 81 on the Pocohontas trail system definitely had some thick mud holes. You were able to get around them if you choose to do so, and we also found a couple of off-cambered stuff that was difficult to get the four-wheelers up. We made it through without incident, but one of the more difficult of the black trails on the system. Not a ton of infrastructure way out here off of Pocohontas trail system, but a lot of these places that you can roll to have gas pumps and stuff. These dudes at Ziggy's opened up just so we could fill up, which is pretty cool. So this is a awesome spot in Herndon, West Virginia. It's just off. It's just off of Pocohontas, but they do service. They stock a whole bunch of parts. They said like $120,000 worth of inventory and parts. They've got all sorts of tires. They do service and repair. They'll come pull you out of the woods if you break down. They have time, so take that number down if you're in this area. Ziggy's is the locals' best kept secret. First place to call if you need something on the trails. So at the pace we were riding this morning, we managed to see pretty much all of the open Pocohontas trails relatively quickly. That wasn't an issue though. John had plenty of trails that he wanted to show us, and the first one he wanted to take us to was the Creek Trail. This is one of the Outlaw Trails. It is one of the more well-known trails in the area as far as the Outlaw Trails go. John told us it was a local favorite, and we definitely saw this trail system watching North Country Boys videos last year on the Outlaw Trails. Saw some familiar sights through here, and this was an incredible trail. It crossed over that creek something like 11 times. The trail itself just weaved back and forth through that creek, so kind of a nice opportunity to cool off. It was a warmer day that day, and we had a blast doing some water riding. So this is Creek Trail, part of the Outlaw Trails. And let me tell you, John has really made this trip for us. Awesome hanging out with him. Definitely seeing some stuff we wouldn't have seen otherwise. This looks familiar. It looks like North Country Boy's been through here on the videos he did at Outlaw Trails last year. So pretty cool to see some of those areas. But the Creek Trail is awesome. We keep crossing through. Get the machines a little... Oh, do it.
Hey, Jeremy said there's all kind of standing around on this video, so I'm like... At least doing something in the background.
Yeah, we look boring.
Liam will be like, hey, you was doing it wrong.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That one was good.
So I think by the end of the day, Thomas had finally realized that it's probably not a good idea to follow the XMR and the stock X3 absolutely everywhere he goes. The XMR is definitely a capable machine. At first I was kind of curious as to why John would want a machine like that around this kind of riding, but there is absolutely nothing it can't go through, up, or over. So that machine was super impressive. Really incredible to watch him tackle just about any obstacle that came his way over the weekend.
Not real hard.
Hey, look, Trevor, North Country Boys. One of them water snakes.